Our vehicle drives down the scene now, and when we press play, we have the camera palming. But right now, we still cannot really control our vehicle. It just drives all the way down the road, just running all these obstacles or pushing them off. And then eventually, it gets to the end of the road, and then it just falls straight off. That is, just because there is not an end there, but we need to be able to control these vehicle movement. So first we need to be able to move our vehicle so that it avoids the obstacles. If we open our player controller script, we are going to need a way to control our vehicle to move left or right. So we should probably just use a variable to do that. Since we know it is pretty bad to just use a random number. So good to think ahead. In general, we are going to make this a public variable so that we can control it just like we did with the speed. It will also be a float because we will use a decimal points. Then we are just going to call it turnSpeed, lowercase t, capital S for speed. So you can see here turnSpeed has different capitalization. So this is a very standard what is called a naming convention. When you are programming so per variable, we often use lowercase letters like speed. TurnSpeed even transform is a variable to be able to very easily see when we are using a class, when we are using an object, when we are using methods, or when we are just using variables. Now we want to be able to move our vehicle left or right. So we will do something similar to what we did with our transform.Translate. Instead of a vector 3 forward, we can actually use there is a whole bunch of other options for vector 3. So we can actually use right. So this will move our vehicle in the right direction. Again, we are going to multiply by time dot delta time because we want to be able to update this position over time instead of once every frame. And then we multiply it by that turnSpeed variable that we made before. Make sure you save this line of code by Control S. Now in our game, if we take a look down at our game view and we select our vehicle, so we can see the value turnSpeed. Now it is 0. If we press play, nothing nothing happening. Well, that is actually because we are multiplying by a 0. Actually, if we click on turnSpeed and drag it to the right, it will start turning right. If it is positive, if we go to the left, it will start going to the left because the value is negative. Now, that is great, but we will need to be able to also control it as well. Thanks for watching and see you in next video.